What's up, everyone? My name is Jesse, and this is the auditorium where I react to video game music for the first time. I'm on this kind of video game music journey, you might say. And today is, correct me if I'm wrong, but kind of a debut of the original Persona, although this is PSP in quotation marks. It says Persona, A Lone Prayer, followed by Dream of Butterfly from the channel's Persona Soundtracks Compendium and PSC, requested by Mushimari over on Patreon. Thank you very much. I checked my entire playlist of Persona reactions out of all my 50 reactions. It's crazy. And I didn't see any for the original Persona, but I did see one for one called Megami Ibunruku Persona. Maybe that's it. So either way, let me know if I've done Persona 1 before, but I don't really think I have. Either way, I haven't heard pretty much anything from it. So I mostly hear 5 and 3 the most. 2 barely, 4 a little. But 1 pretty much never. So let's see what happens. Is this Shoji Meguro? Does it say? It does say it. Vocals by Yumi Kamawara. Okay, let's go. These are both pretty short. This is Persona, A Lone Prayer. I think at this point it was still called like Shin Megami Tensei Persona, I think.
Live with valid memories, experience self-consciousness. I'm just lone player, keep learning other codes back. The hatred thoughts just don't stop. I see free way from there. The world is all I said you. All my right is meant to ring me by.
Oh. Let's look this up really quick.
Ready for freedom, nowhere. All my right is meant to remember. Yasuraida, my last play with no one. My last let me feel alive. Live with valid memories.
This game costs $229 right now.
I'm just lone player. Keep learning other codes back. The hatred thoughts just don't stop. I see free way from there. The world is all I said you. All my right is meant to remember.
Oh, that's catchy. Wow, a rare non-loop on the channel. That was good. That was good though. That was good. Okay, so man, I'm confused now. So let's talk two things before we talk into the actual song. First of all, this is a good opportunity for me to talk about my story with the PSP. Just not a long one, but it's one of those regrets in life. But I remember when the PSP came out, it was like such a big deal to me. I didn't get one right away, but I did get one. And I just remember being so like blown away by it because prior to that, my only handheld experience was a Game Boy Color. So seeing this pretty much portable PlayStation blew my mind. And I didn't know what UMD, the little discs were. I thought that was like a new format. And to my knowledge, maybe the only thing that takes that format, I don't know, but it was cool. You know, the back came out and slid right in and just snapped back in, and it had the same layout, the buttons. It was just cool. I can't remember at this exact moment if it had 2 analog sticks or 1. I want to say it had 1. Maybe it had 2. I don't know. Maybe the Vita had 2. I don't know. I didn't have the Vita though. Anyways, long story short is I had what I now know as the limited edition God of War PSP for Chains of Olympus. That game was awesome, by the way. If you ever have a chance to play Chains of Olympus, it is very much on par with any other God of War. It was amazing. And that PSP was all red, like a blood red, with these kind of like rose red metallics, and Kratos' face, the OG Kratos. But times were hard in those years for me, so I sold it not too long after. I don't even know how much it's worth now. I don't even want to look, or maybe it's not even that rare. But I mean, from what I remember, it was limited edition, and it's one of his biggest regrets is selling that. And I don't know if I owned any other PSP games. Not really. I didn't have it for that long. I want to say maybe like 5 months. Anyway, so, and then the other thing I was going to talk about before the song is, I was going into this thinking that this was going to be like super dark sounding. And the only reason why is because, again, I don't have much experience with the early Personas, but from what I think it's just an assumption now, is that the older Personas were much darker sounding. But I think that might just be 2, from what I recall. It was a little grittier and darker, maybe a little more metal. And I didn't think the kind of lighthearted side came out until 3. But I think that might be wrong now. I don't remember exactly what the old one sounded like. I said the Megami Ibanroku Persona. What song was that, by the way? That was Psycho Sensei's theme. I don't remember what that sounded like at this time. But I don't think it was that dark. I think it was just, whatever. Either way, I wasn't expecting this sound. So now that I hear it, it's making me think that Persona has maybe always had this, upbeat, not cheerful, but, just earworms, good choruses. And it's, like I said this multiple times, but Persona is always about the memorability. Like, a lot of things just stick with you. So many simple, catchy hooks. It feels like all the songs are made for success, kind of thing. They don't treat any song like sleepers in any way. At least from what I've heard. I've heard battle themes, I've heard non-battle themes, I've heard bosses. I've heard I haven't heard everything, but I've heard 50 songs amongst 7 titles or something like that, with spin-offs. And most of it, if not all of it, has been very memorable and catchy. Now I'm trying to think. I didn't look it up actually, or I don't know if I have the. But this is the PSP version. So I don't know. There's no wiki for it, but I don't know what the different or how long the difference was between like maybe the console and then the PSP version. What changes happened? I think I see a synopsis here, but I could be wrong. But it's an enhanced port of the first title. The English localization retains the plot setting for the original Japanese version, as well as a more accurate translation. 2009? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I got spoiled. Now it's not like story, but it says right here, a new opening cutscene called "Dream of Butterfly" replaces the original. That's the next song we're hearing. So, opening cutscene. Okay, so there's like a whole bunch of changes. Either way, I wonder if these changes were good or welcomed. And I wonder how many people played this. Let me know if you played this. I know Persona's big, but I know 3, 4, and 5 are big. I don't know if people work their way backwards, especially towards the PSP. I don't know if you consider the PSP retro. I guess so, technically, maybe. It's kind of old now, but I don't know how easy they are to obtain. And yeah, let me know your PSP story if you have one. Do you still have yours? Did you move on to the Vita? Did you always want one? Let's go on to the next one. That was really catchy, by the way. I feel like that... I could be wrong. But I feel like Yumi Kawamura has returned, I don't want to say often, but maybe in 3? I can't keep track of all these names and composers all the time, so please refresh my memory. Now this one, before I get started, well now I know it's opening cutscene. I find this very interesting because when I've always heard the name Persona, I still don't know what the premise is or the story's about, but I always figured it was something like this. This kind of like someone in whatever character, and then they have like an alternate persona. So it's I don't know, it's just like that's exactly what I imagined. Anyways, Dream of Butterfly, which I now am aware is not in the original Persona game. That's interesting. So was the original Persona, did that have an intro? Let's go. Dream of Butterfly. It doesn't say the composer or singer here. I just noticed the butterflies in general. Seems to be a common theme. It's a really cool guitar riff. It's a little mixture of genres. Where is it going after this? Chorus? Kinda. Sounds like a chorus. Japanese. I have no idea what they're saying, but again, catchy. You know what? Let me search something. See if there's a video for that. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to pause. Damn. I never pause. But then again, this wasn't requested, so this is on my own accord. I just wanted to see what it looks like. I saw opening movie. I wanted to see. Yeah, I'm going to check this out. This is from the channel Bull is Rebooting. Not requested, but I just want to see. I miss video game openings, man. Yumi Kawamura again. We got lyrics. This riff right here reminds me of like Static X for some reason. It just sounds like that era. When was this uploaded? I want to say like 2009. Oh, 4 years ago. I never do this, by the way. I never like look at context. So he's been around since the beginning. And very rarely has the music gone to someone else, I believe. What's that? Are you guys getting nostalgic watching this? I really just wanted to experience the that's cool. The opening, dude, because I said this not too long ago. I don't even know what video, but opening movies are gone. It's a lost art. I'm sure out of the, let's just say 2024, how many video games have been released this year? I don't know, let's just say 100 across all platforms and everything. How many out of those 100 do you think have like an opening movie? 5, less, who knows? It's just not cool anymore. It's like too much resources. Who knows? You know, the whole like video games as a whole are so different. You know, it's, I'm not going to get into a huge rant here. I don't want to sound all boomerish, but it's very much, you know, corporate now. There's a lot of money upstairs and they got deadlines. Everything feels rushed. There's always patches. Everything feels incomplete. And yeah, you know, everything's just DLC and pay to win, all that stuff. So, I mean, I get it. I know why they do it, but it just seemed like when video games were like a lot smaller, there was just, you know, like things just released complete. It didn't feel. It felt like there was more passion behind it. It didn't feel like there was just a deadline to be met. And we also lost booklets inside cases. Now it's just literally just holding the graphic of the front cover. We're pretty much like on the verge of like losing physical media, it seems like. So that wouldn't even be an issue anyways. And now I'm seeing, which is funny because earlier I accidentally saw the price of this game, which, because I don't buy retro games, but it's like 200 something. I'm like, okay, yeah, like that is kind of making sense, and I feel like that's probably going to get worse. I don't want to get into like the whole politics of that because I don't know if you guys collect games or anything, but I obviously with like the way things are going, it's probably going to get like, I don't think it's gonna be that good. Anywho, I don't want to be all downer about this. I just really wanted to see it because I miss intro movies and I miss booklets, and it was cool. It was like exciting buying a game and on the ride home in the passenger seat or in the back seat, and just reading the book and like, you know, getting spoiled a little bit on characters and stuff. Which, by the way, yeah, a lot of those spoil stuff, but they have to. They got to put like the whole game in there. It's like, oh, you're gonna meet this character later, but whatever. But if you're wondering why the requester didn't send this one was way less like better quality. Obviously, it was like super compressed and it was like 360p. And I get that question all the time, like, why don't I check out context to see what you're hearing and all that? That's not really like the point. I don't know why I'm saying this 2 years later after me starting the series, but that's never been the point. It's just hearing what music I haven't heard out there, which is a lot. If I had context for everything, I mean, yeah, I would have less questions, but then I would just know. I know that sounds kind of weird, like, oh, well, you know, but I like not knowing stuff. I like starting conversations in the comments, people telling me their experiences. Like, what sounds more fun? Like me Googling the like direct answer, or having you guys who have direct experience with these games when they came out or later, and then just gushing about it and like having someone to talk to. That's the whole thing for me. Like in my mind, I feel like video game music was just kind of like an untapped community out there. I'm not saying I'm the first. I'm not saying, you know what I mean, but it's cool to see like people talk about this stuff, because I feel like they may have gone years or maybe their whole lives without being able to talk to it with anyone, and they can feel like they can share that with me or something. It's something I take very seriously, you know, and that's why I keep doing it, and that's why I'm not burnt out, and that's why you know, because this is a lot. It's overwhelming, you know, having YouTube as your full-time gig and all that, and it just kind of, it's stuff like this that just makes me reflect on all that. That it's really cool that people just talk about their experiences, you know, that's it. That's all it is. Anywho, I really miss booklets, and I really miss intro movies. And if you've experienced an intro movie recently, tell me what it was. I'm just curious what's still making them. And I mean a movie, I don't mean like a 5 second splash screen into a logo or something. Anyways, both songs really catchy. They remind me a lot of Persona 3's music a little bit without Lotus Juice. But now the real question is, has Persona music always been like this? Or is 2 just the only like dark horse? Because to me it was like 1 and 2 were pretty dark, and then 3 onwards it kind of lightened up. But maybe now it's just 2. And also, did you play Persona 1 or experience the PSP one? There's so many questions, but the Persona fans always come out, so I want to get them all out of the way. Passionate community. I'm sorry, I'm probably never going to play these games, I'm going to be honest. But hopefully that doesn't deter you from... But in a way, I'm still experiencing the games in my way, the best I can. This is the only way I can experience these games with the amount of games I listen to and experience almost daily. So, anyways, yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks for sharing your stories and your songs with me to the requesters. Thank you to all the patrons as well. I always say I can't be here without them, but that's true. I cannot. I would be probably homeless. Thank you to everyone who's here, and thanks to you for watching. My name is Jesse. I'll see you later. Take care.